The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by Martha Tilton and the King's Men, and music by Billy Mills. The show opens with Love Is. One thing you can be sure of during these next few days, friends and neighbors will be dropping in unexpectedly for visits to talk over holiday plans and parties. Will your home always be ready for them, floors gleaming with beauty, tabletops and woodwork spotless? If you practice protective housekeeping with genuine Johnson's Wax, it probably will be. Daily housework is reduced to a minimum when these surfaces are Johnson waxed. Rooms are quickly tidied up. And properly waxed floors never really lose that richly polished look that good housekeepers so much admire. When you wax your floors, furniture, and woodwork, you not only protect them against scratches, dirt, and wear, you not only save yourself hours of work, but you also win the compliments and praise of your family and friends for the beauty that genuine Johnson's Wax adds to your entire home. When you consider the low cost of those advantages, is it any wonder so many good housekeepers just couldn't keep house without this famous wax polish? But don't be satisfied with anything but the original and genuine Johnson's Wax in paste, liquid, or cream wax form. This is the time of year when a man who can't suppress his curiosity should be handcuffed and blindfolded. For instance, a package came for the McGees today, which is almost certainly a Christmas present. And we invite you to an interesting discussion between Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Oh, but Molly, look, we don't know it's a Christmas present.
Just the same, McGee, we're not going to open it before Christmas.
Oh, but sweetheart, there's nothing on it that says don't open till Christmas.
Don't get mushy with me. I still say we don't open it till Christmas morning now.
Okay. I just wondered if it could have been them silver fox furs, that's all. I just wondered.
What silver fox furs?
Oh, never mind. We'll know Christmas morning. Well, I guess I'll run out the cigar store.
McGee!
Huh?
What silver fox furs? Who's sending me some furs?
How should I know?
Well, you're the most exasperating. But this is exactly the size and shape of a box that would have a set of fox furs in it.
Hey, cut that out. You can't open that. Not till Christmas.
But, darling...
Don't get mushy with me. You can't open it. Here, give me that package. You wouldn't let me open it, and I won't let you open it.
Why do you pay any attention to me? I'm just a woman. I don't know anything. You're the man of the house, and what you say ought to go, dearie.
Hand me the scissors.
Here.
Thanks. Uh-oh. Bad news, Molly. It ain't furs.
What? It isn't? Mm. Oh, dear. I told you we shouldn't have opened that package, McGee. Not until Christmas.
Uh-huh.
But what is it?
I don't know. Look.
Oh. It's a musical instrument of some kind. Looks like a little pipe organ.
There's electric wires on. Hey, I know. It's one of them chime doorbells. And a beauty, too.
You mean one of those doorbells that every time it rings you expect somebody to say, the following announcement is transcribed?
Yeah, but it don't say here who sent it. Now, who do you suppose...
Oh, get that stuff out of sight quick, McGee.
Okay.
Come in. Mr. Wilcox.
Hello, folks.
Oh, hi, Harlow. Come on in.
No, thanks. I just wanted to leave these packages for you. And don't open them before Christmas.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Wilcox, and we won't. But what's your hurry?
I've got to stop and get a sandwich before I go back to the office. I missed my lunch. Well, Merry Christmas.
Well, heavenly days. Now, there's plenty of cold chicken in the refrigerator, Mr. Wilcox, and a lemon meringue pie.
Oh, boy, my favorite vegetables. But, gee, I hate to be any trouble, Molly.
It's no trouble at all. It's no trouble at all. I'll just set out the chicken.
Now, wait a minute. No, you don't. I'll find everything myself. Don't get up or I won't stay.
Oh, well, go ahead, Wilcox, and easy on that pie. You got to watch them hips.
Okay, I'll try to restrain myself.
Well, we know he didn't send that doorbell.
No, but I wonder who did. Oh, dear. Come in.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Uppington? How do you do?
How do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Mr. McGee?
And a yippee-yoo-tie to you, Mrs. Hughes. Won't you slip out of your sables and squat a spell?
Thank you, no, Mr. McGee. I came over to ask a favor of you.
Oh, certainly, Abigail. Anything we can do, just ask us.
Oh, yes. Unless you want me to take that pooch of yours for a walk. I draw the line at patrolling the precinct with that pie-eyed peak.
Mr. McGee, Fifi does not enter into this matter at all. Besides, I believe she entertains the same aversion to you that you do to her.
Well, that's a lot of entertainment for one man and a dog. But what can we do for you, Abigail, dear?
Well, Mrs. McGee, I head the neighborhood committee to conserve waste paper for the government. I wish to ask you not to burn or destroy your waste paper and cardboard. Please save it, and I shall have a truck pick it up whenever you call.
Why, sure. I'd be glad to help such a good cause. Personally, I'd like to form a movie committee for this war.
A movie committee, Miss McGee?
Yeah, I'd like to get the government to make a documentary picture and send 1 million prints to Tokyo.
Starring what actor, dearie?
Harry Carey. By the way, Uppy, did you by any chance send us an electric chime doorbell for Christmas?
No, I did not, Mr. McGee. But I must say I admire your blunt way of inquiring. I simply detest people who hint.
I do too, Uppy. Although when I was a cub reporter years ago, I was always the diplomat.
Oh, sure,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, you betcha. Yes, sir. Never used to act a direct question if I could help it. But if there was any inside dope I wanted, I got it. Get that dope McGee, I was known as in them days.
Oh, my.
Get that dope McGee, the dashing, daring darling of the dailies and the ding-dong dipsy-doodle-daddy of the dirt dishers, diligently deviling dignified diplomats for delicate details, discreetly dictating data difficult to decipher, and deliberately denouncing dangerous demagogues dripping with dubious dialogue designed to develop defeatism, doing my duty with a dearth of dilly-dallying despite the dirty digs of the desperate dogs who determined to dampen my do-or-die disposition and deteriorate a diggity dynamo into a drippy droop, a dandy detective at dodging death and danger, but doesn't this description sound like a total stranger?
Martha Tilton sings He's 1A in the Army and A1 in my
From
heart.
coast to coast in this great nation, each man has got a classification. Pray tell me, what's yours? I've got a guy who's really something. This man of mine, he ain't missing nothing. No wonder I'm happy to say he's 1A in the Army and he's A1 in my heart. He's gone to help the country that helped him to get a start. I love him so because I know he wants to do his part. For he's 1A in the Army and he's A1 in my heart. And just in case you're quizzical, I'm gonna tell you now. He passed the toughest physical, he passed it, folks, and how? For I know why he rates so high on Uncle Sammy's chart. 'Cause he's 1A in the Army and he's A1 in my heart. They're 1A in the Army and they're A1 in our hearts. They've gone to help the country that helped them to get their start. We love them so because we know they want to do their part. 'Cause they're 1A in the Army and they're A1 in our
Hey, Molly, this is going to be a pretty snazzy doorbell, you know it?
Yes, but who do we get to install it, dearie? An electrician?
Nah, I can do it myself.
Oh, no. No, please, let's not go into that again.
What do you mean? I fixed the thermostat on the furnace last week, didn't I? It works at the touch of a finger now.
Sure it does, sure. At the touch of a finger, you get a shock that melts your bobby pin.
Now, I'll get you some rubber gloves. Anyway, I don't see...
Oh, dear. Come in.
Oh, hi, sis.
Hi, mister. What you doing?
Huh? What?
I guess not.
You guess not what?
I guess you didn't know I was a businesswoman, mister.
Oh, businesswoman, eh?
Mhm.
Well, just what branch of commercialism are you identified with, madam?
Well,
I says, what's your racket?
Oh, a miserable toe.
Huh?
Miserable toe.
I don't get it.
You don't unless you pay for it, I bet you.
Pay for what?
Miserable toe.
Well, that was a short ride, but I enjoyed it. Let's go around again. What's miserable toe?
Oh, gee, mister, you know what miserable toe is.
No.
You hang it up on Christmas and it's got white berries on it.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Mistletoe.
Mhm.
Otherwise known as mug holly. Lip lilac. And night blooming smush.
My daddy calls it fracture cactus.
Fracture cactus. Why, sis?
Because once a long time ago, he started to hang some up on the chandelier and the chair broke and he fell down and fractured his leg.
Oh. I says, oh.
Oh. Well, mister, can we do any business? Only 25 cents a bunch.
Okay. Bring me 2 bits worth, sis.
Oh, thank you, mister. I'll deliver it first thing tomorrow and you can pay me the 35 cents.
Fine. I'll be... Hey, wait a minute. You says 25 cents. What's the extra dime for?
Tax?
What do you mean, tax? There's no tax on mistletoe.
There is unless you want to glue it up, mister. It's up to you. Come on.
Smart little tyke. I'll bet she winds up selling Santa Claus a snood for his beard. Hey, Molly, do you suppose this doorbell runs on batteries or the regular house current or how?
Well, why don't you experiment, little dearie? You're a wonderful lad with electricity.
You really think so?
Why, sure I do.
Yeah.
Who else could have wired the vacuum cleaner so it runs and hides under the Davenport every time I plug it in?
Well, stop.
Oh, heavenly days. Something's happened to Mr. Wilcox. Come on, McGee. Oh, no.
Hey, what's the matter, Harlow? Hey, what you sitting on the stove for?
I just blow-coated your linoleum. Meow.
Huh?
And I'm waiting for it to dry. Ooh. I've only got 15 seconds to go. Ooh, yeah.
But you're sitting right on the pilot light, Mr. Wilcox.
I know, but I don't want to jump down till the floor is dry. It takes 17 to 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Time's up.
Well, turn around quick. I'll throw some water on you. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, boy. That's better.
Now, what was all this foolishness, Mr. Wilcox?
I'm sorry, Molly, but when I came out here in the kitchen, I noticed your linoleum needed attention.
Oh, I know, but I've been so busy shopping the last day or so that
Well, it wasn't bad, but I can't resist a linoleum that isn't perfect. So I grabbed a can of Johnson's self-polishing glow coat and spread some around with a long-handled applier. It's really fun to do, you know.
Oh, yeah, we heard you screaming with joy, Harlow.
Well, you see, the minute I had the floor all nicely glow-coated, and with no rubbing or buffing either, I hopped on the stove to let it dry, never realizing I was sitting on the pilot light.
Well, thank you for polishing my floor, Mr. Wilcox. And I'm sorry you had to roast your rompers doing it.
Oh, that's all right, Molly. Well, I'll be getting back to the office now. And
Did you have enough to eat, Harlow?
Eat.
Yes, eat. Did you find the chicken and the pie?
Well, what do you know? I forgot all about eating. The minute I got out here, I started glow-coating the floor.
My.
If I'm not the darndest fool. Oh, well, I'll grab a bite downtown. Thanks anyway, folks.
Forgot to eat. I always said it, Molly, but I never really believed it.
What?
He'd rather talk about Glowcoat than eat.
Well, I still hate to think about it.
Dear, oh dear.
I'd like to get paid by the door knock, McGee. At a nickel a knuckle, I'd be rich in a week. Come in.
Oh, hi, Latrivia.
Good day, Mr. Mayor.
How do you do, Mrs. McGee? Hello, McGee. I just dropped in.
Excuse me just a minute, Latriv. Look, did you send us an electric chime doorbell for Christmas?
I did not. I didn't send you anything for Christmas.
You mean yet?
McGee.
Except for my immediate family and employees, McGee, I am putting my Christmas budget into defense bonds and stamps.
Good for you, Mr. Mayor. We've got to back up our buck privates with our private bucks. Which is an old saying I just made up.
Exactly. And now, McGee, you've been hounding me for a job with the city.
Oh, I wouldn't say hounding you, Latrivia. Oh, I'll admit I've been kind of scratching around wagging my tail, but...
Well, have you got something lined up for him, Mr. Mayor?
I think so. Are we alone?
Nobody here but us chickens, Latriv.
McGee, how are you on disguises?
Heavenly days. Detective work?
How am I on disguises? Funny you should ask that, Latrivia. Why, when I was a cinder dick for the old TSR Railroad...
What railroad was the TSR?
The Topeka, Sauganash, and Rochester. Better known to the passengers as the two streaks of rust.
When I was a detective on the TSR, Latrivia, I was known as the man with 1,000 faces.
You had your choice of 1,000 faces and went back to your own?
Oh, tush. I'll never forget the time I rounded up that gang of boxcar bandits around East St. Louis. I was walking along the right-of-way, slick as a cat, disguised as a jockey.
Never mind the heroic details, McGee. All I want to know is, can you assume a completely different identity and maintain it under trying circumstances for days at a time?
Oh, why, certainly he can, Mr. Mayor. Why, he can even disguise his voice. Change your voice for the mayor, dearie.
Okay, I will. No trouble at all. In fact, I started changing my voice at the age of 14.
That's splendid, splendid. You report to the City Hall first thing tomorrow, McGee.
Oh, wonderful.
You better get me a police permit.
You better get me a police permit, Latriv, so I can carry a gun.
You won't need a gun. The disguise will be enough. You're going to be Wistful Vista's official Santa Claus in City Hall Park. $5 a day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, man of 1,000 faces, it looks like you're holding the bag again.
Why, that double-crossing political parasite. Who does he think I am?
Santa Claus.
I won't do it. I won't do it. He can't badger me into a beard and a bustle. No, sir. Well, here we go again. I got to hurry up and put this doorbell up,
Yes,
Molly.
an ounce of prevention is worth 10 pounds on the door.
Yeah.
Come in.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. McGee. Hello, little chum.
My. Heavenly days, how do you do, I'm sure.
Well, come on in, Gildy old sock. I'm glad to see you. Look at him, Molly. Ain't he a sight?
What's that, McGee?
I mean, ain't he a sight for sore eyes?
Oh. By George, it's nice to see you folks again. You're looking as lovely as usual, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, now, Mr. Gildersleeve, stop your blind.
Yeah, you see, Gildy, you got her so fussed she can't even pronounce baloney.
Dear Mr. Gildersleeve, take his hat and coat, McGee.
Okay.
I'll make a pot of tea.
Yes, take my hat and coat, McGee.
The King's Men sing What Do I Want for Christmas?
Ding dong, Christmas bells. I must make a wish for Christmas while their music swells. Ding dong, all year through. If my wishes are auspicious, I'll be needing you. Oh, what do I want for Christmas? Do you really want me to tell? Well, I want you for Christmas Day and every other day as well. I never hang up my stocking beside the chimney flue. My cup is full to overflowing, long as I just have you. A toy balloon is something I'd never use, but joy in June is something I can't refuse. If you want to know what I want most, if you want to know what to do, just merely say, let's name the day, for I want you. Ding-a-dong, 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 ding. Everyone is writing, telling Santa what to bring. Why don't I just write and say, dear old Santa Claus, what do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Who ever heard of such a thing? And yet, you know, I miss the things you all have here at other seasons of the year. Valentine's and Easter eggs and firecrackers on the 4th of July and Thanksgiving turkey and mincemeat pie. But all these things don't matter at all. If it makes you happy when I come to call, that's all I need the whole year through. That's the merriest Christmas to me from you.
Oh, what do we want for Christmas? Do you really want us to say? We hope old Santa has a very merry, merry Christmas day. Let's hang up all our stockings and fill them full of cheer, so Santa Claus will have a happy round trip this year. We know you're awfully busy visiting everyone alike, but though you may get dizzy visiting, never go on strike. If you want to know why we're singing and feeling the way we do, it's just because old Santa Claus we all love you.
Yes.
Yes, sir, Gildersleeve, you don't look a day older than when you left Wistful Vista.
Oh, well.
Not that you were any chicken then, but...
Yes.
Will you have another cup of tea, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, thank you.
I should hope not. You've had 6.
Yes. I have not. I've only had 5, McGee.
What do you mean, 5? You had one at the coffee table, one while you were snooping through our Christmas cards, another while
now, McGee. Stop. He's welcome to all the tea he can drink.
Thank you, Mrs. McGee. My goodness. I never thought my little chum would ever begrudge Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve a miserable little cup of tea.
What do you mean a miserable tea? My wife makes the best tea in this...
I didn't say the tea was miserable.
You did, too. You said...
McGee, he didn't mean that. He meant he was surprised you wouldn't want him to have all the tea he wants.
Yes.
Why, sure. He's welcome to all he wants. Big ninny. But tea's pretty stimulating, Throcky, old man. And to a guy your age with your blood pressure, it might make you just a trifle...
What? What are you talking about, my age? Why, I'm still on the sunny side of 40.
Maybe, but you got no more use for suntan oil, boys.
I wish you boys would stop this. It's so nice to have an old neighbor drop in on us.
You hear that, Gildy? Old neighbor. Even Molly thinks...
Never mind what I think. I never saw him looking better. Going to be in town long, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, I've got to go to New York tomorrow, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, hey, while you're in New York, Gildy, why don't you go see the picture we made together? You know, you and me and Molly and Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, yes. Look Who's Laughing. Where is it playing?
Well, it has its New York premiere tomorrow at the Palace Theater, and Keith will be in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Yeah. So you better see it in Brooklyn, Gildy. You're one of them bums.
You? Yes, that's so. Speaking of bums, McGee, that was a bum joke of yours sending me that old lawnmower the other day.
Why, it was yours, Mr. Gildersleeve. Didn't you want it back?
Well, I thought it was a big, expensive Christmas present. So before I opened it, I went out and bought McGee a very costly easy chair with a built-in radio and everything.
Gildy, I'm sorry. That lawnmower thing was just a gag. I sent you a real present yesterday.
What? You did, McGee?
Why, sure. I thought to myself, if Gildersleeve ain't worth $47.50 of my money... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to let the price slip out.
$47.50 is none too much for Mr. Gildersleeve, McGee. Not that the price of a gift makes any difference.
Of course it doesn't. But I might have known that my little chum wouldn't do a thing like that. $47.50, eh?
Well. Come in.
Is this the resident? Who lives here?
I do, Bud. Fibber McGee.
Oh, thanks. Here's a telegram. It's a wire.
Well, I'll sign for it, boy. There. Give the lad a quarter, dearie.
Sorry, Bud. I got nothing smaller than 35 cents. You got a quarter, Gildy?
No, I haven't, little chum. Sorry, Sonny.
Oh, that's all right, folks. I didn't expect it. I've been here before.
Hey. It's from Racine, Wisconsin. From the Johnson Wax Company.
Oh, my. What do they say?
It says, Dear Fibber and Molly, We are sending you under separate cover an electric chime doorbell. Stop.
Oh, my.
Yeah, we are so tired of hearing that eternal door knocking. Stop. So is everybody else. Stop. If every knock was a boost, you'd have a Crosley rating of 6,000. Use the doorbell. Stop. Regards and Merry Christmas. Signed, Johnson's Wax.
Well, that solves the mystery, McGee.
Yeah, sure does, don't it? For a while there, I wondered, hey, where are you going, guilty old man? Aren't you going to stay for dinner?
Oh, please do, Mr.
Thank you. I'm sorry, folks, but I've got to get back to Summerfield and then on to New York. Hey, that's a wrong hat, McGee. I was wearing a fedora, not a beret.
Oh, excuse me. That's the one I wear to fix the furnace in.
If...
Here you are, Gildy.
Thank you. Well, I certainly enjoyed this visit.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve, and I'm so sorry you can't stay for dinner.
Well, he couldn't eat any anyway, Molly. He's so full of tea, his eyes are beginning to slant.
Yes. Well, still the same old McGee, full of little smart cracks, he thinks. Well, I hope you enjoy your Christmas present, folks.
I'm sure we will, Mr. Gildersleeve, and thank you very much.
Yeah, and I hope you like the one I sent you, Gildy. I'm sorry I was so crude as to let the price slip out.
Yes, $47.50. Well, certainly nothing to be ashamed of. Wow. Well, goodbye, folks, and Merry Christmas.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve, and the same to you.
So long, Crocky.
Well, I'm certainly glad we found out who the doorbell was from, dearie.
Me too. Hey, Molly.
Yeah?
What could I get Gildersleeve that would look like it cost around $47.50?
You know, there's one room that gets to be mighty important around the holiday season, and that's your kitchen. For two reasons. One, it gets more than the average amount of wear and tear. And two, when your friends drop in, they all seem sooner or later to find their way to the kitchen. Now, what's the number one thing to do to be ready for them? Right. Give your floor a protective beauty treatment. Make it sparkle and glisten with Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat. The floor polish that gives floors such a lasting luster, that makes linoleum wear indefinitely, keeps its colors as fresh and bright as new. Glow Coat is different from ordinary polishes. Its film is flexible, not brittle. It does not chip or wear down unevenly. It guards linoleum surfaces against wear and dirt. Makes house cleaning so easy because it needs no rubbing or buffing. Glow Coat is quick drying. You simply apply and let dry 20 minutes. And Glow Coat is economical because a little goes a long way. Now, if you're not already using Glow Coat, just try it once. Look for the familiar red and yellow can, and be sure it reads Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat.
You know, Molly, it was nice to see old Gildersleeve again.
Well, nobody'd think so the way you two argued there.
Oh, we were just kidding. I wouldn't really fight with him.
I should hope not. He's a much bigger man than you are.
That's why it's so easy to get under his skin. He's got so much of it. Good night, and a Merry Christmas.
Yes, and a Happy New Year, too. Good night, all.
This is Marla Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
With automobile production again restricted, it's very important to take better care of your car. Don't let the finish deteriorate. Make it last. Keep it new-looking with Johnson's Car New, the sensational auto polish that both cleans and wax polishes with one application. 2 jobs in one, in less than half the time they used to take. For the sake of your car and for your own pleasure, buy a can of Johnson's Car New right away. It's spelled C-A-R-N-U. This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
Molly.
The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by Billy Mills Orchestra, and featuring tonight a very special musical score written by Ken Darby, arranger and director of the King's Men. And the show opens with Who? like a thermometer for measuring increased activity and hustle and bustle around the house, it would certainly kick over the traces in this week before Christmas. What with shopping and cooking and tree trimming and being an air raid warden besides, there's certainly lots to be done. But in spite of how busy you are, you still want your home to look its best for the holidays. Have you ever stopped to think how useful wax is at such a time? Truth is, if your floors, furniture, and woodwork have been regularly protected with genuine Johnson's wax, that special holiday cleaning can be done in short order. A quick dusting and polishing, a touch-up with wax where needed, and your rooms are glowing with mellow beauty, ready for the visits of your family and friends. For over 50 years, Johnson's Wax has helped brighten homes at the Christmas season. A couple of nights before Christmas, and all through the house at 79 Wistful Vista, not a creature was stirring, except Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
McGee, I don't like to seem repetitious, but hadn't you better get your Christmas shopping done?
Oh, Christmas shopping. Every year the same thing. Makes me sick.
Yes, I know, dearie. We go through this every year.
What do you mean?
You howl and scowl, and then the day before Christmas, the spirit hits you like a baseball bat. And you do everything but grow a beard and climb down chimneys.
Oh, gee whiz. Christmas is getting too commercial. It's getting so...
Sure. We ought to have rubber stamps made for this whole conversation.
What you mean again?
Well, every year you say Christmas is getting too commercial, and every year I have to scold you for spending too much.
Oh, me? I just spend what I have to get by, that's all. I go along with the mob. It ain't any beautiful Yuletide thoughts with me, baby.
Oh, go on.
No tinsel snow gets in my eyes. If I spend any dough, it's just because it's the easiest way out.
Now, listen, McGee, you're a fraud. You're a phony. Why, you're so scared somebody will find out you're sentimental, you act like a dead-end kid.
Sentimental my clavicle. The whole thing is a lot of tapioca. I wouldn't give a half-hearted hootin' hat and sack if I never saw it. What you got there?
This is the mail that came this morning. It's mostly just Christmas cards.
Let me see them.
You wouldn't be interested. They're just the same old Christmas malarkey.
What do you mean, malarkey? Don't you realize people have gone to a lot of time and trouble to... Was there any other mail?
Just a couple of bills. Incidentally, what's this item on the Bontown bill for one mama doll, $8.50?
Mama doll?
Now, listen, don't try to look so innocent. Not that I mind your playing with dolls, if they're made out of plaster. But you certainly didn't buy this one for me, did you?
No, I bought that for the little girl across the street.
Oh, I think that's very sweet.
It was not sweet. I'm giving it to the little pest as a bribe to stay out of my life.
Oh. It's strange how much she annoys you, isn't it?
I never saw such a little nuisance. Always butting in where she ain't wanted.
I know. You hate her so much that last year you gave her a $2 Valentine. You gave her a white rabbit for Easter.
Well,
Took her to the circus twice. Spent 3 days fixing her tricycle, and you did card tricks through her bedroom window when she had the mumps.
Well, that don't mean I like her, does it?
Doesn't it?
No. That was an old Valentine that had been kicking around here for years. I gave her that rabbit because I thought it would annoy her old man. I fixed her tricycle so she could go someplace else besides around here. And I took her to the circus because they always give kids better seats than they do grown-ups, and I was taking advantage of her helpless condition to practice my card tricks. And she never caught on. Thought I was doing it all for her.
Come off it, dear. You're not fooling anybody.
I ain't trying to fool anybody. All I'm saying is that Christmas has lost its meaning. It's got so people don't...
Come in.
Hello, Mom. Hiya, Skimp. Well, if it ain't Billy Mills, the poor man's Toscanini.
Hello, Mr. Mills.
Come on in, William, my boy. Hang your hat on a hickory limb and don't go near the piano. What's confusing with the music, kid?
Just stopped in to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Ah, Merry Christmas, blah. What's merry about it? Walk your wedgies off in the slush to find a lot of junk for a few mugs that won't appreciate it. Hanging a ton of gewgaws on a pine tree that look better in the woods. scratch your hands all up on a handful of holly to hang in the window so you can stick yourself in the eye with it when you look out to watch the mailman breaking his back with a sack full of silly Christmas cards. Merry Christmas, blah. And a Happy New Year.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mills. The same to you. And don't pay any attention to McGee. You know, he goes through this act every year. He's got those don't wrap up that packet, Christmas is just a racket blues.
Ah, don't worry, Mom. I can read him like a book.
What kind of a book?
He's a mystery. A very novel character.
Fine type, too. One of the lower cases.
Somebody ought to borrow him and not bring him back.
Maybe we could arrange with the Book of the Month Club to offer him as a special premium.
Oh, cut it out. Lay off, will you? Even if the rib was as prime as you think, this is a meatless day.
Ever play the bagpipes, Alfred?
And don't call me Alfred.
Okay, Joe. Ever play the bagpipes?
I don't think he ever did, Mr. Mills. Do you think he could?
Sure. Got a head start. Big bag of wind. All he needs is a flute. Well, gotta be gone. Merry Christmas again.
Well, the same to you, Oskaloosa Sousa. What's all the rush?
Oh, I gotta drop in to see my mother-in-law. She's AWOL.
Oh, you mean absent without leave?
No, a welder out at Lockheed.
Isn't he a wonderful band leader, McGee?
Ah, band leader, my clavicle. I think all of them are just a bunch of fakers myself. You ever see a musician looking at the leader? No. They don't know whether he's beating out a march, a polka, a waltz, or just swatting flies.
Well, then what keeps them together?
That check at the end of the week. Confidentially, one of them guys told...
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Ah, probably somebody else coming in to wish us a Merry Christmas when all they really want to see is if you ever got those new curtains for the dining room.
Well, I didn't, and the same to them. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Uh-oh. Now, this is all I needed today. Sis, why don't you take your little sled and go out on the pond in the park?
Oh, there isn't any ice on it, mister.
Yes, I know.
Hey, don't be like that. You were young once yourself, you know.
Well, I wasn't that young this long.
Be very tactful with him today, little girl. You know, his Christmas spirit is later than usual this year.
Well, doggone it, the whole thing is a very foolish arrangement.
Why, mister?
Why, the idea of having Christmas come right in the middle of the holidays. The new right when everybody is their busiest. It's ridiculous.
Look, mister, I got business to see you about.
Oh, yeah?
Do you like to hear children sing Christmas carols?
Oh, sis, there's nothing I love more than to have a little group of childish voices stand outside my window and blat their melodious little brains. Particularly if I ain't home that night.
Oh, gee, mister, I got my whole gang outside, and they're awful anxious to sing you a Christmas carol, and I told them...
Well, I don't like to hear Christmas carols butchered by a bunch of kids. How can anybody sing good standing hip deep in a snowdrift with a muffler over their face, wondering how many fingers and toes they'll have left when they get home, if they ever do?
Oh, maybe you're still mad on account of last year. Are you, mister? Are you?
No, I'm not. That has nothing to do with it.
What's this? What happened last year that I don't know about?
Oh, nothing. She's
Well, us kids were going around singing Christmas carols.
Now, never mind, sis. That's ancient
And
history.
Mr. McGee came
Now,
out...
never mind. Give the kid a cookie, Molly. I imagine she's kind of hungry. Hey, sis?
Oh, gee, thanks, mister. Anyway, Mr. McGee came out while we were...
Sis, I told you nobody was interested. Now, let's just drop the whole subject. What kind of a cookie you want?
Any kind, thanks. And a glass of milk.
Well, I'll see if I can do it.
Now, listen, what happened with the Christmas carols, dear?
And Mr. McGee came running out of the house.
Now, you cut that out, sis.
And he wanted to sing with us, only when we heard him sing, we didn't want him to, and he followed us all over town. And, gee, we couldn't get rid of him, and he kept trying to sing, and people threw things at us and all. It was awful. on Cinderella's foot. It fit just dandy. And he said, gee, kid, you're cute. How'd you like to be a princess? And she said, oh, boy, and write testimonials for cold cream. And they got married and lived happy ever after. You want to hear another one, Mr. Well, once upon a time...
No. That's enough, sis. Thanks anyway. You told me at least 14 of them.
Are you sure you don't want to hear any more?
I'm positive, sis.
Okay, then get off my lap.
Well, heavenly days, McGee. What are you trying to do, crush the child?
No, she wanted to pretend I was her little boy and tell me some stories. Now I know why they call them Grimm's fairy tales. That's the grimmest half hour I ever spent in my life.
Gee, I thought it was fun.
No, you did. Well, personally, I'd rather lie down with a good book under my head and go to sleep.
Can't you two think up any more games to play?
I bet you I don't want to be fun, I bet you.
What, sis?
Well, I could bring my little playmates in and we could sing you some Christmas carols. They must be pretty cold out there.
I don't want to hear any Christmas carols. Christmas carols are beautiful music. And to hear your little mob of half-pint hepcats slaughter them would ruin my day.
Oh.
The very thought of those kindergarten contraltos drives me to drink. Get me some root beer, will you, Molly?
Yeah, me too. Hey, mister, let's play star, shall we?
How do you play that?
Well, first you give me, maybe about $3 and change, huh?
Give you $3? Hey, what is this? First you eat 2 dozen cookies, and then you want to borrow $3. You trying to put the bite on the hand that feeds you?
Oh, gee, it's lots of fun, mister. First we post a lot of ceilings.
I don't want to buy a ceiling. We got one.
This is different, mister. Us storekeepers have got to post ceiling prices so people won't have to pay too much for stuff, and it keeps the cost of living down a reasonable level, and the prices won't go pig wild.
Oh, hog wild.
You know your own habits best, mister. Anyway, we got to keep prices from getting out of hand for the merchandise that's getting scarce, so after the war we won't have inflation, you see.
Hey, aren't you getting a little out of your depth, sis? What do you know about economics?
Oh, my daddy told me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We had a little heart-to-heart talk last night, he and I.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he says I'm at the age where I ought to know certain things.
Oh, I see.
Like not paying 10 cents for a lollipop that's worth only 5 because then I'm bidding against somebody that can only pay 5 cents for a lollipop. Besides, spend an extra nickel, it ought to go toward a war bond, which will help pay for the war and give me a nest chicken afterwards.
You mean a nest egg?
By that time, it ought to be a chicken.
Well, be that as it may or may not be or not, sis, we won't play store. I got a better game.
What, mister?
Scoopy. Did you ever play Scoopy?
What on earth is Scoopy?
Oh, it's a wonderful game.
How do we play it, mister?
Well, it's like this. You run home, hide in the closet, and put your hands over your eyes and count up to 79 million.
Oh, and then what?
Now, by that time, we'll both be so old we'll have forgotten what we started out to play, which is the object of the whole game. Now, I'll get your hat and coat, and you...
Hello, folks. Merry Christmas. Oh, hello, little girl.
Hi, Mr. Wilcox. Hi. What did it?
I haven't got time to stop and talk. Just wanted to leave this little Christmas gift for Molly.
Well, heavenly days, Mr. Wilcox. You shouldn't have done
Oh, it isn't very much. And don't open it before Christmas. But I think it's something you'll like.
I got one for you, too, Junior, but it ain't wrapped up yet.
Oh, that's okay, pal, anytime. Remember, Molly, don't open that package before Christmas because I want you to be surprised.
I promise, Mr. Wilcox. My, it's wrapped beautifully.
I wrapped it myself, especially for you.
Shake it, Molly, and see if it rattles.
I bet you that wouldn't be fair, I bet you.
Of course it wouldn't. I want it to be a surprise. You just put it away till Christmas.
Oh, I think I'm going to love it, Mr. Wilcox.
I know you'll love it because millions of other housewives do because it's so easy to apply and shines as it dries. Your beautiful mirror-like polish in 20 minutes or less and saves hours of housework, to say nothing of eliminating old-fashioned floor scrubbing. And boy, what it does for the looks of your kitchen linoleum is amazing. But I won't say any more. I might give you a hint. Merry Christmas, all of you.
Oh, gee. I wonder what it is.
Hey, sis, ain't it about time your mother ought to be worrying about why you don't come home?
No.
Huh? Look, I've been very patient with you today. Now, why don't you do something for me?
Okay, mister.
Fine. Now, come back maybe tomorrow, and I'll have a surprise for you.
I got a surprise for you, too, mister. I got some little friends outside here waiting to sing your Christmas.
Doggone it. How many times I got to tell you I don't like kids singing Christmas carols? I don't want to hear any.
I'll get it, dearie.
Well, if it's this little girl's mother, Molly, tell her yes. She'll be right home, I hope.
79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking. Long distance. Yes, I'll hold the phone. Yes, Oh, is that you, Myrtle?
Hey. That's no fair.
How's every little thing, Myrtle?
Well, what is it?
It is, huh? Who, Myrtle? Your brother?
I hope it ain't funny.
Went fishing through the ice, huh? Well, isn't he the lucky one?
What'd he get, Molly?
The cherry out of his planter's punch. What'd you say, Myrtle? Yes, I'm ready. Hello? Well, for goodness sakes, you're the last person in the world. What? Yes, he's fine.
Who is it? Who's
Oh, yes, indeed. We'd love to see you. Yes, do. And plan on having dinner with us.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, we'll be delighted. Well, thanks for calling, and we'll be expecting you next week. Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Gildersleeve?
I bet you I remember him, I bet you. He's the man who always laughs with his stomach.
Yeah. Speaking in the vernacular, we call that a belly
McGee. Never mind. Mr. Gildersleeve says he's coming to visit us next week, and he'll be here for dinner.
Boy, ain't it wonderful and strange what some guys will do to get the extra pat of butter these days. But I'll be kind of glad to see the old flimp at that.
Oh, dear. Come in.
Oh, gee, it's Mrs. Uppington. Hi, Miss Uppington.
Well, hello, little girl. And good afternoon, Mrs. McGee. And Miss McGee.
Hello, Abigail.
Hi, Uppy. Won't you wiggle out of the minx and drape the frame on an orange crate for a spell?
Oh, thank you, no, Mr. McGee. I just dropped by to wish you both a very, very Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you, Abigail. The same to you. And take that sour look off your face, McGee.
Well, doggone it,
I guess he doesn't like Christmas very much, Miss Uppington.
Well, is it my fault that Christmas ain't what it used to be? It's too commercial. My gosh.
Oh, McGee. He doesn't mean a word of it, Abigail. He's just an old softy who's afraid somebody will find out about it.
I've never known such a thing.
You are too, I bet you. You gave me $10 on account there's some little orphans in school who won't have any
You
Christmas.
keep out of this, sis.
Okay.
You don't have to hurry away, do you, Abigail? I was just going to make a pot of tea.
Oh, no, I can't stay, my dear. You know, I still have 2 days' work as Santa Claus at 14th and Oak Street. Oh, my, it's been such fun, really. Quite an experience.
That costume and the beard really fools them, eh, Uppy?
Oh, they really do, Mr. McGee. I've been a Santa Claus for 2 weeks now, and I've been given 23 cigars, 7 hot tips on the races, and business cards from 2 coffee leggers. Oh, well, it's been a rich experience. I feel younger every day. And as Mr. McGee will probably say after I leave, no one can stand it better than I. Well, Merry Christmas, all.
Are you really going to say that, mister?
No, and she might have given me a handful of them cigars people have been giving her.
Oh, McGee,
Well,
there's plenty of cigars in your humidor.
okay, but if she wasn't so stingy, she might have...
Say, why won't he let me and my friend sing a Christmas carol? Why won't he, Miss McGee?
Well, frankly, dearie, he'd love it. But he knows himself too well. When he hears those Christmas songs, he goes all mushy inside. Now, look, you pretend he's hurt your feelings and make believe you're going home.
Hey, I hope somebody gives me a box of cigars for Christmas because I only... Hey, what goes on here? What are you two whispering about?
She says I better go home, mister.
Huh?
She says you're mad at me because I want to have the kids sing a Christmas carol for me.
Oh, now, I ain't mad exactly, sis.
I
I
bet
just...
you are, I bet you.
Well,
And, gee, the kids have been out there in that cold all afternoon on account of
now, none of that, sis. Now, cut it out. The only reason I didn't want them to sing is well, gee whiz.
Oh, it's okay, mister. I know how you feel. Thanks for the cookies and thanks...
Hey, don't rush away like this, sis. My gosh. I'll listen to your old Christmas carol if it means that much.
No.
I just thought...
No, you don't like them.
I do, too, like them. I only
You
thought...
don't either like them.
I do, too.
You don't?
I do, so.
No.
Yes.
No.
Now, look, sis. Here. Take my handkerchief and wipe your nose.
Thanks.
Now bring in your half-pint glee club and let them do their worst, which I imagine is pretty bad.
Oh, they're not bad. They're wonderful.
Okay, so they're terrific. Bring them in.
All righty. Hey, Kenny, Ratty, Johnny, Buddy, come on in.
My. Well, what handsome little fellas. Hello, boys.
Hello, Mrs. McGee.
What you going to give us, kids?
The night before Christmas. And, gee, we rehearsed it like 60. Are you ready, kids?
No, I'm ready, sis. No, wait a minute. Hey, Molly.
What's the matter, McGee?
Here. Take my money and my watch. You know me. Every time I hear these things, I want to give away everything I own.
The night before Christmas and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their wee little bed, while visions of sugar plums danced in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's
But out along there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw open the sash.
Then, what to my wondering I should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer with a little old driver so lively and quick that I knew right away that it must be St. Nick. All bundled in fur from his head to his foot, old Santa was covered with ashes and soot. I drew in my head and was turning around, when down the chimney he came with a bow.
His eyes, how they twinkle. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose like a cherry. His dry little mouth was drawn up like a bow. And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a little old pipe he held tight in his teeth, and smoke went around and around and around his head like a wreath. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, that I laughed and I laughed and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. He had a broad face, ho, 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 and a little round belly, ho, 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 that shook when he laughed, ho, 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 like a bowl full of jelly. Ho, ho, he gave me a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, a chuckle and a smile I knew all the while I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings.
Oh, boy.
And turned with a jerk. Then laying a finger
aside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team, gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the town of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, and he drove outside. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good night after Christmas and all through the house, not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. The presents are scattered and broken, I fear, and
St. Nicholas won't come again for a year. The children are nestled all warm in their wee little beds, while memories of sugar plums dance in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap are settled at last for a long winter's
Ladies and gentlemen, even while we wish you a Merry Christmas, we can't help thinking that in many parts of the world, the spirit of goodwill toward men has been made a shame and a mockery. But there'll be other Christmases. And to our men in uniform all over the world, we send our prayers and our thanks for what they are doing to restore faith and decency to our world. To them we say thank you and God bless you.
And we hope and pray that when next Christmas comes, there will really be peace on earth.
Good night.
Good night, all.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax, Johnson's Car New, and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. In this week before Christmas, there's probably more friendliness in the air than at any other time of the year. As we grow older, it's not the gifts of Christmas that we feel, but the friendly spirit back of them, the good smile, the warm hand clasp of neighbors and friends. When these friends and relatives gather with your own family in your own home, you realize what it means to have a home in a free country. In anticipation of these friendly gatherings, many of you will be adding the finishing touches of house cleaning this week. Among other things, going over waxed floors, furniture, and woodwork to make them gleam with beauty. The makers of Johnson's Wax are proud that their humble products find a useful place in your preparations for a warm-hearted Christmas season. ever waited till the last minute to buy your Christmas tree, only to find that the dealers were all sold out? You have? Well, then maybe you can whip up a little throb of sympathy for Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Well, I'm afraid it's no use, McGee. We've been to 7 different lots, and we haven't seen a loose spruce.
Don't worry. I'll get us a Christmas tree if I have to chop one off the courthouse lawn.
Well, then I'll have to change my Christmas present for you.
Huh?
That war bond. I'll make it a bail bond.
Yeah.
Say, why on earth didn't you go buy a tree last week, as I suggested?
Because they were asking ridiculous prices, that's why. Most of them slum-raised lumber-jerks were asking $7.50 for a bow-legged little balsam no bigger than a whisk broom.
You think they get cheaper as they get scarcer?
That ain't the point. The point is to find the guy that's overstocked, see? Afraid he isn't going to get rid of them by Christmas. Get one for a song that way.
We should have brought Nelson Eddy with us then. I've heard you sing in the shower, and that soapy opera of yours wouldn't get us anything but a raspberry bush. Ah, Merry Christmas, Mrs. Nesmith.
Who's that?
Mrs. Nesmith.
Oh. Say, there's a lot right along in here someplace where the guy had 1,000,000 trees last week, and he can't possibly... Oh, here it is. Come on.
Oh, that must be the salesman. I beg your pardon, sir, but is that Christmas tree for sale? And if so, how much... Well, heavenly days, Uncle Dennis.
Hello, Molly, darling, and Fibber,
Hi, Unc. Where's the sap in charge of the saplings? We want to negotiate for a live log.
Well, now, I'm sorry, lad. I am indeed. The gentleman in charge of this Christmas tree lot, a fine lad by the name of Monahan, may his pretzels never grow soggy, as he is one of the grandest guys that ever tripped a fruit peddler to take his hungry mother a big juicy apple, has closed up and gone home.
Yeah, but we wanted to buy this Christmas tree, Uncle Dennis.
Yeah, not that it's much of a tree. I've seen better fur on a mouse.
Well, now, isn't it a shameful thing that you should be too late and all like that? It was only 10 minutes ago, lad, by your very own wristwatch, which I happened to be wearing as it was lying about loose in your top dresser drawer, and I don't happen to have one myself, it was sold.
Oh, dear, but there's no sales tag on the tree, Uncle Dennis.
And who, may I ask, was stupid enough to dish out good dough for that beetle-bitten hunk of tumbleweed?
'Twas myself.
You?
You? You bought the last Christmas tree in this lot, knowing that we didn't have one?
Now. And how was I to know that a smart gazoo like yourself would be getting caught without a tree? It was a bargain given to me by my good friend Monahan, who is quite a man at singing the camalias, which are a regular feature of Grogan's beefsteak dinners. May they soon be resumed when Hitler, the dirty little house painter, gets his comeuppance and Hirohito finds our heroes turning on the Hito.
Say, why do you want a Christmas tree, Uncle Dennis? You live with us.
Come on, Unc, sell it to us, will you? What do you say? Whatever you paid for it, I'll toss an extra 2 bits on the drum.
2 bits? That I could not do, lad.
Huh?
'Twas buying this tree for a dear friend I was. And there ain't enough money in the world to make Dennis Driscoll betray a trust. And the very idea is enough to make my old father, may the little people keep his pipe lit for him, look down and say, would you think of making it $2 extra now?
No, I wouldn't.
That's ridiculous.
Very well, you can't blame a man for trying to pick up a couple of bucks. A very Merry Christmas to you. Oh, tread on the tail because...
Can you imagine that, my own uncle?
Of all the dirty, low-down tricks, a fine Christmas spirit. Chipping his own family out of the last Christmas tree in town.
You think it really is, dearie?
Well, it might be. Come on, let's look some more. Goodwill toward men. That was a fine sample of it. Here we are with the whole world full of misery, needing friendship and sacrifice more than any time in history, and what happens? We get popped with a balsam. If that ain't the dirtiest...
Oh, McGee, look.
Huh?
There's a Christmas tree place right there. And there's Alice Darling coming out of it. Yoo-hoo, Alice.
Oh, hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Alice. Don't tell us you're shopping for a Christmas tree, too.
Oh, jeepers, no, Mr. McGee. On account of anybody who was silly enough to wait till now to buy their Christmas tree is simply just too stupid for anything. What are you doing down here?
We're buying a Christmas tree.
Oh, well, that's what I say. It's much better to wait till the last minute when it isn't so crowded and the trees are much fresher or something. When I bought my tree 2 weeks ago,
2 weeks ago?
If you bought a tree, what'd you do with it, Alice? We didn't see it around the house anyplace. And a pine tree ain't exactly what you might call unobtrusive.
Oh, well, I didn't buy it for me, Mr. McGee, on account of jeepers. I've only got one room, and a girl which she lives in just one room only needs a little piece of mistletoe. You know what that is. That's the ivy that if you don't meet the right people under it, it's poison.
Ah, dear, and if you do, it's the berries.
Why, Molly.
Oh, I just love Christmas time because that's when you can dash up to people and kiss them like it was a sudden impulse. And I've already made out a list of the sweetest men to have sudden impulses about. Oh, that's one nice thing about being a girl. You can be girlish and people don't think anything about it.
Now I know what I forgot to get Alice for Christmas, dearie. Lipstick.
Yeah, that brotherly love stuff is great, ain't it, Alice? Particularly when you run out of brothers.
Well, I don't want that you should get the idea that I simply rush around kissing simply everybody, Mr. McGee, because really I'm a very reserved character. You know, once I was in love with a fellow for 3 years, and he never even held my hand, and then he married another girl.
Oh, who was that, Alice?
Cary Grant. Creepers, I'd like to have met that man. Well, I hope you find a Christmas tree, Mr. McGee. Goodbye now.
Well, shall we give it up, McGee?
No, sir. I started out to get a Christmas tree, and by the curly cotton cover crop of a corner Kris Kringle, I'm going to get a Christmas tree.
Well, you might fly up to Canada and get one, but it would be a lonesome trip.
What you mean?
The other geese won't be flying back for a couple of months yet.
Okay. Scoff if you want to. Deride. But I'm telling you, if
Merry Christmas, Miss Curry.
Who was that?
Miss Curry.
I'm telling you, Molly, when I set out to get a Christmas tree, by George, Hey, here's a place on the corner here.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Say, Alice Darling might have told us she was getting one. She could have got us one at the same time.
Well, what do you expect of people? Consideration? It's no wonder they always picture Santa Claus as a fat mug standing there holding the bag. My gosh, people...
Oh, look, McGee, this place seems to have plenty of trees.
Yeah, they had plenty last week, too. And the guy that runs this pocket-picking concession thinks no more of a quarter than I do of my left leg. Pocket-picking concession. Pocket-picking papa. That guy wouldn't lend you a match without 4 cosigners. Hi, bud. Remember me?
Yeah. You were the guy last week that waved a $1 bill at me. And for that, I was supposed to sell you a 12-foot tree, deliver it, trim it, sing 3 Christmas carols, and carve you a turkey.
Listen, we couldn't get a turkey. We're having chicken.
Yeah, we're having turkey. Now, don't take me so literally, Molly. Look, Bud, if you have a nice, reasonable price tree, we might...
Yeah, we got only one left.
Better take it quick, dearie.
Not so fast. They like to haggle a little bit. Now, which tree is it, Bud? If it's the right size...
You're leaning on it.
Heavenly days, that one?
You call this broken-down bird sanctuary a Christmas tree? Well, I've seen better trees than that in an old pair of tennis shoes. That moth-eaten bramble looks like it was raised in a cold hothouse.
How much is it, sir?
Much too much, lady. The price is way out of line. If I was you, I'd skip it.
Don't tell me how much I can pay for a tree, Bud. I'm not as poor as I may look.
I hope not, friend. You look like a holdout from a handout.
Well, how much?
$12.
$12? $12 for that sad-looking cedar? Why, that cone carrier's got more broken branches than the Berlin Public Library. And look at those bare limbs. You could sure find a haystack in those needles. And besides, last week you only wanted $9 for the same tree.
Well, last week the town was full of Christmas trees. And furthermore, Oh, hiya, Mr. Wilcox.
Hello there, Louie. How are you, Molly? Hiya, Fibber.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. What you looking so happy about?
Who, me? Oh, I don't know. Just the old Christmas feeling, I guess. I love this time of year, don't you?
No, I guess everybody does, Mr. Wilcox. Got your Christmas window shopping all done?
Just about.
And I suppose the presents are all piled up at your house.
We stack them on the piano, Junior.
Yeah, and from the looks of the Christmas tree situation, that's where they're going to stay, too.
Yeah.
Oh, so what? It won't hurt anything. Not when anyone keeps the piano and woodwork and lampshades and windowsills and everything protected from scratching and holiday wear and tear like you do with Johnson's wax.
Oh, it's nothing.
You think it's nice, Junior? You think it's nice to be so commercial about Johnson's wax on a holiday like Christmas? You think that's very couth?
This, pal, is Tuesday. Christmas is Saturday. And on Saturday, I say nothing about Johnson's wax. I merely say things like, thank you. And, gee, that's wonderful, but you shouldn't have done it. And, very little ice in mine, and stuff like that.
Well, personally, we've been so upset trying to get a Christmas tree, Mr. Wilcox, that we haven't...
Excuse me, Molly. Hey, Louie, how much is this tree here?
$12, Mr. Wilcox. It ain't worth it, frankly, but it's the last one I got.
I'll take it. Here's 15, and wish yourself a Merry Christmas with the rest of it.
For $3, I can wish myself 6 Merry Christmases. Thanks, Mr. Wilcox.
Hey, wait a minute. I was dickering for that tree myself, Wilcox. Now, looky here, Louie.
To you, friend, the name is Mr. Zambowski. And we can't do no business. The tree is sold.
You see, Mr. Wilcox, we were...
Gee, I wouldn't have had this happen for anything in the world, folks, if I'd only known you wanted it. I thought you were merely friends of Louie here.
He should live so long.
They say a man can't have too many friends, but in your case, Bud, it would be too many. Now, look, Wilcox, we haven't got a Christmas tree, and we were merely trying to decide about this.
Believe me, pal, believe me, I'm terribly sorry. To think that I should walk in and grab it right out from under your nose.
Oh, gee whiz.
Why, I ought to be ashamed of myself. I'll take it with me, Louie. Well, I'll see you later, kids. To think that I should pull a shabby trick like that on my best friend.
Well,
I'm afraid it was your own fault, dearie. You had the first chance at it. Well, Merry Christmas, Mr. Zambowski.
And the same to you, lady.
Come on, McGee.
Standing there like a friend, chatting away as gabby as you please. And all the time. Oh, this hurts.
Oh, heavenly days. We don't have to have a tree, you know. Lots of people don't.
It ain't not having a tree that bothers me. It's the way my friends and relatives undercut and chisel on me. Uncle Dennis, Alice Darling, Harlow Wilcox. Christmas spirit. Where is it? And here when I had a chance to get a beautiful big tree...
That isn't what you told the man it was.
Oh, my gosh, you can't have any fun dickering with guys if you tell them how beautiful their merchandise is. First make a man ashamed to ask the price he's asking, see? And then when you get into...
I think... Oh, Merry Christmas, Mr. Kramer.
Who's that?
Mr. Kramer.
What were you saying?
I was about to say that I think the grocery store's about our last chance to get a tree. Might as well look. Just a few doors down, you know.
Oh, my gosh, I never thought of that. Come on. I'm not so sure about buying a tree at the grocery either. Jimmy Sale will probably ask us 8 green points for it.
I don't think it. Look in the window, McGee. They still got a couple. Hurry up now.
Oh. These are both sold, and Lady Luck could know what I think of her. She'd forget she was a lady.
Well, one is sold, McGee, but the other still has a price tag on it.
How much?
Let me see. $6.
Oh, boy, that's a deal. I'm going to grab onto this till the clerk gets here, too. Anybody that gets this tree away from me will have to start trimming it with my 2 arms.
Well, as the taxi driver said when Einstein got out of the crowded cab, this is certainly a mind off of my load.
Yes, sir. Next time, maybe you'll believe me when I tell you that I know what I'm talking about.
Hello there, Fibber. Hello, Molly.
Hello, Dr. Gamble.
Hi, Doc, old man. Happy Yuletide and all stuff like that there.
Why are you hugging the tree, McGee? Just a nature lover, or are you going to climb it and hunt for birds' nests?
Oh, he's just making sure nobody beats him out of it till the clerk gets around to him, Doctor.
Yeah, till this deal is signed, sealed, and delivered, I stick to this trunk like a baggage label. Pretty nice little spruce, eh, Doc? Spruce.
It's not a spruce. Douglas fir. Douglas fir.
I thought it was a balsam.
Might be some kind of a cedar.
Might be some kind of a cypress, too, but it isn't.
You know, my cousin had one of those on his farm near Peoria. We squeezed apples in it every fall.
In what?
A cider press.
Oh. I didn't say cider press. I said cypress.
Oh.
The cypress is a symmetrical evergreen common to the western United States. Very interesting study, that of our non-deciduous trees. The pine tree, like most coniferous trees, is an evergreen, the larch being a conspicuous exception.
Oh, are you an expert on plants and trees, Doctor?
Well, it used to be a hobby of mine, Molly. Botany's a very interesting subject.
Of the two, which do you like best, Doc?
Of which two?
Plants and trees or botany?
Why, they're the same thing, dearie. I had it in high school. In fact, I was the pistol-packing mama of the lily collectors.
I thought maybe Doc knew so much about him because he was a tree surgeon at heart.
No, but if I ever hear of a sap needing a transfusion, I'll know where to come.
Oh, yeah? I'd show you who was a sap if I dared let loose of this tree for a minute.
Oh, now, boy.
One excuse is as good as any, McGee. By embracing that tree, you're probably saving yourself a few very spectacular contusions.
Is that so?
Yes.
Why, you unreasonable facsimile of a male brother. For 2 aspirin tablets...
Now, McGee, is that any way to talk while hugging a Christmas tree?
No, it isn't, Molly, and it was my fault. I'm sorry, McGee. No time for quarrels.
Okay, Doc. Well, then, I'm a little hasty myself at times.
It's not about buying Christmas trees.
Well, real friends are too scarce to fight with them. In fact, McGee, I retract all the unpleasant things I ever said about you in the past.
Oh, I do too, Doc. I even take back the stuff I thought about you. That's even dirtier than what I said.
Well, now, this is better. You know, Christmas is a time when we should all be friends.
I think so, too. Let bygones be bygones, McGee. Me pal.
Well, that goes for me, too, Doc. Here, I'd like to shake your hand.
Good. So would I.
Isn't that nice?
Wait till I get untangled from this weeping willow here, and put her there, Doc.
I think this is one of the sweetest things I ever
Hey,
saw.
all right, Doc, let go of my hand.
Now, wait a minute. Hey, Joe.
Yes, Doctor?
Put that Christmas tree in my car, will you?
What?
Hey, wait a minute. What the... Now,
Wait,
look,
wait,
Doc,
Doctor, pay for it the next time you come in.
Doggone it, Doc, let go of my hand, will you? You double-crossing double... Doc Gamble, come back here with that Christmas tree or
Cheer up, McGee. Heavenly Days, it isn't the Christmas tree that makes Christmas, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's the Christmas spirit. Christmas spirit, blah. All I've seen of it today...
Merry Christmas, Mr. Crockett.
Who was that?
John Crockett from Washington.
Oh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Here it is, the season where everybody is supposed to love everybody, so what do? They go around grabbing Christmas trees out of people's hands. The timber thieves. The first guy that says Merry Christmas to me, I'm going to hang up my sock right on his chin. Merry Christmas, Bud.
Same to you. Thanks.
Who's that?
Search me, but I got as much right to holler at people on the street as you have. Doggone it, if those so-called throat-cutting, sheep-stealing friends of mine knew how bad I wanted that tree, I'd... Hey.
What?
What if we string the colored lights on that rubber plant of yours and...
Oh,
no. That's no good. Doggone it, I trust people too much. But not now. Take a good look at your husband, Mrs. McGee. You recognize him?
Why shouldn't I?
Because he just had his faith lifted, that's why. From now on, little Fibber's going to go along looking after little Fibber. Period. As long as everybody is throwing the love your fellow man stuff overboard, I might just as well...
Hi, Mr. McGee. Hi, Miss McGee. Merry Christmas.
Oh, hi, little girl. And if you must yammer out those Yuletide wall mottos, sis, just say, a good December 25th to you. Or season's greetings, sir, or something like that.
Skip the Merry Christmases as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, he's a little disappointed. He'll get over it, though.
Yeah, I'll get over this like Dan McGrew got over his lead poisoning. Sis, I'm glad I saw you while you were still young. If you still believe in this...
Hey, mister.
Huh?
Look up on your front porch.
What do you mean, look up on our front porch?
Why, McGee, look, the porch is full of Christmas trees.
Why, what in the...
I've just been reading the tags on them, mister.
Huh?
There's one from Dr. Gamble and one from Mr. Wilcox and Alice Darling and one from Billy Mills, I betcha, and one from Uncle Dennis and one...
Oh, my gosh, you mean they were all buying them trees for us? Well, I never thought... Well, gee whiz, come on. Boy, oh, boy.
Hero.
Merry
Oh, my heavenly days. Here's the King's men and everybody. McGee, get out the root beer. I'll get some cookies.
Just a small root beer for me, McGee. I got to operate in the morning.
McGee, can you close your mouth and pull in your eyeballs long enough to thank these people for the Christmas tree?
Well, look, everybody, gee whiz, all I can say is, well, Merry Christmas.
Yes,
Same to you.
Hey, Mr. McGee.
What do you want, sis?
Look, I got my whole gang here again. Kenny and Bud and Johnny and Reddy and Billy Mills and all the fellas, and we thought maybe it'd be nice to sing that same song we sang last Christmas.
Well, sis, that's a wonderful idea. People have been writing in all year asking us to do that again. So here's The Night Before Christmas, as originally set to music by Ken Darby of the King's Men.
Before Christmas and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all warm in their wee little beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw open the sash. Then, what to my wondering I should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick that I knew right away that it must be St. Nick. All bundled in fur from his head to his foot, old Santa was covered with ashes and soot. I drew in my head and was turning around when down the chimney he came with a
His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow. and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a little old pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke went around and around and around his head like a wreath. He was so chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. Then I laughed and I laughed and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. He had a broad face, oh ho ho, and a little round belly, oh ho ho, that shook when he laughed, oh ho ho, like a bowl full of jelly. Ho ho, he gave me a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, a chuckle and a smile. I knew all the while I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings.
Oh, boy.
Then turned with a jerk then laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good
Oh, is he gone?
Is the night after Christmas, and all through the house not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. The presents are scattered and broken, I fear, and St. Nicholas won't come again for a year. The children are nestled all warm in their wee little beds, while memories of sugar plums dance in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap are settled at last for a long winter's
Ladies and gentlemen, most of you have brothers and fathers and sons, yes, and maybe daughters in the service, here and overseas.
Yes, so when you write to them next, please tell them they have the sincere and heartfelt wishes for a speedy and safe return and a Merry Christmas from
Fibber, McGee,
and Molly.
good night.
Good night, all.